So I just got done with my most practical prep of the year so far, and it's not that exciting, but it is something worth talking about because it might give you some ideas about how to approach a similar project based on your situation. And I just want to talk about some of the things related to trying to produce your own food and how difficult it really is to do and how it takes so much of an investment, blood, sweat, tears, finances, obviously property, everything else required to be able to grow food to the point of being self-sustaining is very difficult to get. So it's not something necessarily I think everyone can do. It's something that I feel like is a great goal to have, but it's not going to be something you can just turn a key on and suddenly be a farmer, right? So I do want to mention Midway USA is the biggest supporter of the channel. Thanks to them, I can get out here and make videos like this one that have nothing to do with super sweet rifles, but I have a rifle on anyway because, you know what, it's my property and I like it and that's what I'm gonna do. And I also don't want you all to leave because you're so bored by looking at dirt and grass that you didn't have anything else to look at, because we know you're not here for me. So big thanks to Midway USA. What am I talking about? I just planted 100 American plum trees. Well, my family did, not me alone. I can't take all the credit. But I also got some help because this is something that isn't super easy to do if you don't have a tractor, if you don't have a skid steer, if you don't have heavy agricultural equipment, which I don't. You know, I spent a lot of my resources trying to get the amount of property and the home and everything else that I needed to be able to do these types of things in the future. But I couldn't just buy this land and $50,000 worth of ag equipment. I just didn't have the resources. So it's slow going, but we're working on it. And programs are out there that can make stuff like this a lot more affordable if you just look for them. So I'm just going to tell you what I did to give you some ideas about what's out there, and then just, I don't know, maybe you can give me some advice. And I'm going to show you how small my little baby trees are, because you know what? A friend of mine recently joked that he hopes I enjoy plums at the age of 60, but in reality, these plum trees can start producing fruit within 2 to 3 years. So this is an investment. I'm not going to be able to survive the nuclear apocalypse off of these American plum trees if things happen tomorrow. I get that. But you know what? I'm in it for the long haul. I'm not here to try to make something happen overnight. Now, what did I do? Well, first off, I asked for help. I talked to my neighbor, and the first part of our conversation was about, where do you think I should put a bunch of trees and where would it not bother you, right? Because I think that's just good to have that courtesy so we can kind of build that rapport with our neighbors, right? Well, in that process, he said, hey, I know you don't have a lot of equipment. Would you like me to come by and till some rows for you if you want to plant these trees? I said, yeah, and he did. So I really, really appreciate that. And that's huge. Everyone's like, oh, you're OPSEC. Don't talk to your neighbors. What if they sell you out? And I'm like, well, what if they till a bunch of rows for your trees for you too, right? So awesome guy, really appreciate his help. Then I had to dig holes for these trees, right? Well, I bought one of the cheapest dirt augers you can find, or earth augers, on the internet, as well as just physically at a store, which is from Harbor Freight. I bought their Predator earth auger, comes with a 6-inch bit. It was like 185 bucks on sale. Gas auger, I dug 100 holes with that thing in, I don't know, an hour. Like it took 1.25 tanks of gas. Like it was just nothing. So if you're gonna dig a ton of holes or do a bunch of post hole digging or something, maybe pick up that auger, because so far so good. Then what did I do after that? Well, you know, we put the trees in the holes, and then we made sure they had some water and some plant food, and then we buried the trees in the holes. That's what we did. Where did I get the trees? Well, I wanted fruit-bearing trees for obvious reasons. I'm a prepper, so things that make food seem like a good idea. I looked around for a little bit and found trees being offered by our state university. North Dakota State University has a nursery in Towner, North Dakota. I called them up and they were selling American plum trees for $1 a piece. Delivered, basically. I think the delivery fee made it a full $1 a piece. But the minimum order requirement was 100 trees for delivery. So I said, okay. So I ordered 100 American plum trees at $1 a piece. So for $100, I got 100 trees that one day could produce fruit and help me and my family eat. And I also spent 185 bucks on an earth auger. So, you know, we're at like 285 now. And I had a 20-30 minute conversation with my neighbor about where he thought putting the trees would be a good idea, and for some advice, because, you know, he's planted trees as well. I didn't just go into this completely uninformed, but I also wasn't going to go into this with the idea of landscaping in mind, with mulch and all kinds of crap in mind. I'm just trying to plant trees, man. This isn't rocket science, right? And yeah, 30-minute conversation with him, and he helped me out big time with tilling and stuff. That was it. Oh, and don't forget, you know, a few hours of labor, which between me, my wife, and kids, really didn't take that long at all to get 100 trees in the ground. Now, when I say trees, what do I mean? Let me show you. And don't go making fun of my trees now, because they're sensitive, okay? All right, where is a tree? Can you see a tree? Wait, what's this right here? Oh, there's a tree. Look, these are not trees for what you might have thought. These are just little 12 to 18 inch baby trees that'll eventually grow into full-size trees. But for now, this is what we got. And I got 100 of them. Now we got a little bumblebee friend coming by. This is what I'm trying to do. I want fruit production of some kind on this property. Oh, wait, there's another one. I know you might not have seen it, but there it is, right? Now look, if I spend $100 on twigs that I just planted into the ground, let me know. But in reality, there are root systems. These are trees. They're dormant right now. I have no doubt they'll start to grow. And we got some good rain in the forecast. And like I said, got 100 trees, 25 per row. We got 4 rows. They're all spread out to the appropriate measurements when it comes to making sure they're gonna have enough space to grow. And that's what we did. So look, this is boring. I think so. But you know what? It's practical. And it's an investment. Prepping's not a sprint, it's a marathon, right? I don't expect these trees to give me fruit anytime soon. But I want to start putting stuff into the ground so that one day that might be a real opportunity. And I think it will be. But the thing to keep in mind is this isn't going to help me tomorrow if we have a nuclear apocalypse. But a lot of things probably won't either, right? But you know what will help is having, I don't know, years worth of food stored away so that while these trees grow and possibly eventually begin to bear fruit, I can eat in the meantime. And these aren't the only trees I'm probably going to plant. I think we're going to do more. But I wanted to share this because I'm not just doing gun stuff, everybody. I'm still prepping. I'm still trying to make this property produce, but it takes time. You know, unless somebody wants to give me a skid steer, it's going to be a little bit, right? And no, that wasn't an offer for anyone to offer me a skid steer. I don't want that. I don't want that. Anyway, trees are in the ground. You know what that means? I can get back to the shooting range. You know what to do if you want to support the channel. Go to magicprepper.com. And besides that, that's going to be it for Magic Prepper.